What is up, my friends? How are we? It is Thursday evening, and you are very welcome along to today's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. We're going to be giving you words from Kenny Dalglish around Florian Wirtz. We're going to be speaking about some interesting statistics that show the current value of Liverpool's squad versus our competitors. We'll also talk about who's had the most 1-2s as a combo in recent years, and a few other interesting bits and pieces, including the revelation of what it would take to sign Adam Wharton from Crystal Palace. That and lots more to come over the next few minutes, but you know the score. I want to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys tonight at 8:45 for the late night agenda. Right, let's get cracking. Loads to get through, and we're going to start off with who has engaged in the most 1-2s in recent years across the Premier League. Now, this was compiled by the folks at The Athletic, and you probably won't be surprised to hear that at the top of the pile, Mohamed Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold with 39 1-2s are, well, the most prolific. In second place, it is Saka and Odegaard of Arsenal, and third is Mohamed Salah and Roberto Firmino. So as you can see there, Mohamed Salah involved in quite a bit of Liverpool's build-up play. A little bit further down the list to look at some other Liverpool combos, you have Andy Robertson and Sadio Mane with 24. A little bit further down again, we've got Andy Robertson and Luis Diaz with 21. And then Andy Robertson and Bobby Firmino. So as you can see, relationships on the football pitch are important, and these little 1-2s and understanding each other's movement can certainly lead to some dangerous positions. So Mark Gay has been speaking about his proposed move to Liverpool that broke down, and this is what he's had to say. I don't have much to say about it, to be honest. I'm focused on playing my football and playing for this club. It's something I don't think of at all. My only focus is on the club. Look, pretty stock answer there from Mark Gay around his future or around that failed transfer to Liverpool. He can't really say anything else, but we do have a little bit more on Mark Gay coming up in a couple of moments. Before I do though, just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, our last show is taking place 19th of October. Last ever stage show will be at the Hot Water Comedy Club in Liverpool. If you'd like to come and join us on the night, you can get the remaining tickets, of which I think there are about 35 left, priced at just £15 with the QR code on the screen. It's an all-ages event, and all the money that we raise is going towards the GoFundMe for Joe's wheelchair basketball chair. Right, let's keep going with the news. So, Kenny Dalglish speaking about Florian Wirtz, and it's one of the more interesting, and not for any kind of argumentative reasons, it's just a very interesting take and a very Kenny Dalglish-esque way to say it. He said, what I think he needs to do first is what he is doing at the moment. He's great at taking the ball into feet. He'll open himself up. The pass he has to beat you, but he's still got control of it. The wee fella could open a can of soup. I love that little quote there from King Kenny. The wee fella could open a can of soup. Not quite sure exactly what it means, but I like the quote nonetheless. Right, let's have our daily little poke and joy about Manchester United for a second. United fans watching, you know, you wouldn't respect me if I didn't have a little bit of fun, right? So Manchester United's co-owners, Ineos, are concerned that Ruben Amorim may step down before being sacked in a bid to save his reputation. But that would be okay, right? Because surely then Gareth Southgate would ride in to save the day. Nope. Former England boss Gareth Southgate would reject any approach from Manchester United, according to the Mirror. So, you know, bigger problems there. Most valuable clubs. Let's talk about this one for a second. Transfermarkt have put this out, and Real Madrid, they reckon, have a squad value of 1.4 billion. So this is the valuation of the club itself. It is the players in the squad and what they're valued at. So Real Madrid top the pile with a squad value of 1.4 billion euro. Second place, they have Arsenal with a squad value of 1.33 billion euro. Third place, Manchester City with 1.23 billion euro, and then Liverpool 1.11 billion, and then to round off the top five we have Barcelona in there, 1.11 billion as well. So they reckon Liverpool and Barcelona have the same squad value but lag behind Manchester City, Arsenal and Real Madrid. What have you got to say to that, folks? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk a little bit around Chiesa, and I don't have an update, by the way, on whether he will be fit or not for the weekend. Arna's press conference will be tomorrow. But Lewis Steele has reported that Italy manager Gennaro Gattuso is very pleased with Federico Chiesa's start to the season and is considering calling him up to the national team for the first time since 2024. So fingers crossed that that does work out for Fede. We know how much it means for him to play for his country, so I hope he gets the chance again. Also, Lewis Steele, he is saying that Liverpool are insistent that they will not be signing Mark Gay in January. But remember, the word in late August, he writes, was that Alexander Isak wouldn't be signing. So let's see if they rethink their approach. Whatever does happen in January, I think it's fair to say we need a centre-back. Great if Mark A wants to come in either in January or in the summer. That'll be brilliant to add him in. But we still need to bring in a centre-back. So hopefully the Reds have something up their sleeve, because we're one injury away from a Virgil van Dijk to having a big headache. James Pearce today has said the under-21s boss Rob Page has confirmed that Will Wright will be out for around 2 months with a knee injury. He said no surgery is needed, but it's going to be a couple of months. It wasn't the main ligament he's damaged, it was one on the side, so it's not as bad as we first thought. 2 months out is a long time, but it is good news that it wasn't as bad as first feared. Now also, a little bit on Jayden Danns. James Pearce said, fellow young Liverpool striker Jayden Danns also facing an extended spell on the sidelines. He damaged his hamstring playing for the 21s against Ipswich Town last week. James goes on to write, cruel setback given how good he'd looked off the bench for the first team against Southampton in the Carabao Cup. It's very unfortunate. Poor Jayden Danns just can't seem to get a rub of the green at the minute or a bit of luck. So hopefully he can move past these injuries, because he is, as James said, a very good player who looked quite good coming off the bench against the Saints. Paul Joyce has said that some may see the champions spending £450 million and simply expect the defence of the title to be a formality. Others will consider the picture to be more nuanced, and Liverpool will not have told Slot that he must win the league. Slot's work on what is shaping up to be a difficult second album is underway, and we will see a true test of his capabilities. So look, we'll all have different expectations or different desires of what we think should be achieved this season with the squad investment. I know from the conversations that we've had on all of our streams that the expectations were going quite high going into this season. And you can never say you have to win the league, I don't think, to anybody in the Premier League, because it's too competitive. But we do have to be right there with this squad that we've assembled. And I think we've got to be going late into the Champions League as well. Quite honestly, from the conversations we had, there is an expectation amongst the fan base that we've discussed that a major trophy is required with the spend in the summer. But like I said, let's wait and see how it all unfolds. If we can see, maybe we fall a bit short, but we can see it's coming together. Maybe things will be better going into next season. Long way to go. So just, I guess, take it week by week at the minute. German football sporting director Rudi Völler has been speaking about Florian Wirtz as well, and this is what he had to say. Florian shouldn't let himself get carried away. I have no concerns that he'll show the English what he's made of. Florian is playing in a new league and a new club. These are normal adjustment problems. Almost every professional has them. I have no doubt that his running and playing ability, he will make a breakthrough. On top of that, finally, we're going to talk about the highest purchase value of the cost of assembling the squad. So we spoke earlier on about the highest value of the squads. Well, this was the highest cost of actually putting together the squads, real world terms. Chelsea topped this list at €1.18 billion. Manchester City, second with 1.03 billion. Then comes Liverpool with €994 million. Manchester United with €946 million. And Arsenal with €923 million. So as you can see, despite the protestations of Guardiola and lacking and mocking about other clubs spending, his squad still costs more to assemble than Liverpool's, United, Arsenal, Spurs, Paris Saint-Germain's and Real Madrid's. So that's what I take from that, ladies and gents. But there is also, as you can see, quite a hefty spend there from the Reds to put the squad together. So fingers crossed that we can lean into results. And actually, last bit before I finish up, the opted Champions League favourites have now changed to Arsenal, who they believe have an 18.09% chance to win it. Liverpool second with 14.7%. Paris Saint-Germain third with 13.96%. Then comes Manchester City at 9.71% and Bayern Munich at 9.5%. That is where we're at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I will see you guys back here. It'll either be 8:45 or 9 p.m. tonight. If you haven't entered a giveaway as well, don't forget to get over to the Anfield Agenda Instagram account. Thanks to our friends at the Collector's Corner, we're giving away this signed and framed Diogo Jota shirt to one lucky viewer. Make sure you check out at Anfield Agenda Agenda on Instagram, where you will see all the information of what is required to enter that. And we will be announcing the winner this very weekend after the Chelsea game. And just a reminder as well, I won't be here next week, folks. I will be away for about 12 to 14 days, something around that mark. So yeah, I will look forward to coming back and seeing you all, but still got plenty to do this week before we sign off. See you tonight. Much love. Bye-bye.